Before the video gets started, I just want to say that all revenue this month on my second channel, Bateman, is going to subscribers to help with their food and energy bills in light of the cost of living crisis. You can click the channel link in the description to find out how you can apply for help, or to just watch some videos and generate more funds for those in need. Tarot cards. Now, despite the fact that most of us now associate tarot cards with fortune telling or the occult, they weren't originally designed for this. Used from at least the mid-15th century in Europe, the tarot were a deck of playing cards used to play games such as Italian tarocchini, which, despite what it sounds like, is not a delicious form of pasta. The adaptation of the tarot to the occult and fortune telling first occurred in France in the late 18th century. This is where the idea that each specific card has a specific meaning comes from. The major arcana refers to matters of spirituality and significant or important themes in the questioner's life, whilst the minor arcana ones deal mainly with matters of business or career ambitions, cups with love, swords with conflict, and coins with money and material comfort. Traditionally, the deck is shuffled by the questioner, and then the fortune teller, or tarot reader, lays out a series of cards in what is called a spread. The cards can either be selected at random by the questioner or simply pulled off the top of the deck by the reader. The meaning of any given card is altered depending on whether the card is upside down, its position in the spread, and the meaning of the adjacent cards. However, there are also intuitive tarot readers. These are readers who, instead of having a specific meaning for each card, instead interpret the cards based off of communications with the spirits or through what the cards seem to show them. In these cases, any given card can have a different meaning depending on who the questioner is. Now, I'm not a particularly spiritual person, but I wouldn't say I'm not spiritual, if that makes any sense. I'm fascinated by things that I don't necessarily understand or things that I haven't experienced before, and so I thought it would be a fun video to investigate the tarot and to get my tarot reading done by different types of tarot readers. I am going to experience fortune telling. Now, I do just want to say that this video is not being made as a gotcha to prove that tarot reading isn't real or that tarot readers are faking it. I think that there are two ways that you as a viewer can choose to interpret this video. Either you can choose to believe in the fortunes told, or you cannot, and both are fine. But in the case of the latter, choose to see this instead as just a bit of entertainment. I'm not in the business of encouraging nasty comments, insulting other people or their beliefs, so remember to keep it respectful in the comment section. Speaking of respect, I would appreciate it if you could respect my grind and take a short moment to listen to this quick ad break. I know I've uploaded this around dinner time, alright, so you're probably thinking to yourself, bit hungry, bit peckish. And that's where HelloFresh, the sponsor of this part of today's video, comes in. You see, HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service, and I promise you, it's very good. With a weekly selection of over 30 meals and over 70 convenience items, I don't know what you're faffing around not ordering HelloFresh for. I use HelloFresh when I'm not sponsored by HelloFresh, which I hope goes to show how much I really value what they do. They have complete flexibility with no fees. So for me, I like to get my HelloFresh when I start uni, and I tend to pause them when I'm a bit more on top of it during the breaks. They offer vegetarian, pescatarian, and fit and wholesome options, so it can match whatever your dietary requirements are. They're also the first carbon neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is fully recyclable. If this sounds fun and pretty fresh, go to hellofresh.com and use code Ellbat16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. You know what I love more than 1 free gift? 3 free gifts. Absolutely banging. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this part of today's video and keeping me well fed whilst I'm at university. And thank you to you for watching it. Bye! Now, for each of my tarot readers, I ask them just one question. What does my future hold? I asked this question to 3 different types of tarot reader: a traditional reader, an intuitive reader, and also a spiritual reader. Now, at the end of each reading, I will make a brief mention of the specific themes that each reader had. And then at the end, after all of the tarot readings, I thought it would be fun to kind of assess how many common themes there were. Something that I have been told by multiple tarot readers is that the future is ever changing. This means that we have free will, and decisions that we make can alter our tarot reads from day to day because they could potentially alter our future. Now, the reason I mention this is because both of the online readings were done on the same day, whereas my in-person reading with Angela was done a week before. This could potentially account for any differences between some of the tarot readers, particularly between the one in person and the ones done online, because maybe I made a decision in that time that change the course of my future. I'd like to think it should be more or less the same, but you never know. Maybe I tripped and fell and now I'm having 3 kids instead of none.
So you have asked me what will your future hold. So I have taken out cards for every different aspect so that you know what is it all about. Now first we're going to look on your career, that is the 4 of Pentacles.
Okay,
now I
solid.
see this, that somewhere or the other, you know, you want to build a very strong financial base for yourself. And somewhere or the other in your future, what I am seeing, that you would be compromising on your aspirations. You would be compromising that. I don't know why, but I feel in terms of your career, you are very afraid. You're very much afraid of change. This is one thing. Possessive about your career, meaning that you want to attain some role for yourself, something for yourself, which I would say. And maybe you do not get that role, maybe you do not get that promotion, so you are going to be hurt by that, and therefore it will hurt you so much that you might leave the company and you go somewhere else.
Guys, I'm quitting YouTube. This is what she's telling me. She's telling me in the future, YouTube's done. It's in the bin. I set a goal for myself that like next year, I want to hit 1 million subscribers. And I know it's a superficial goal and I know I shouldn't care about numbers, but it sounds like she's saying that there's no chance. So, you know, maybe it's good that I get this disappointment out of the way now.
Now in terms of love, I see the Empress card shows, I don't know if you are in a relationship or not, but yes, if you are, or for future I would say, you're going to be with the love of your life and you'll really enjoy with the person. You will cherish with the person. He will treat you like a queen of his life, of his like he will treat you like a queen.
Well, I mean, she did assume I'm straight. I mean, she didn't know. I could have had a girlfriend. So she's saying that I'm gonna stay with Jean. Me and Jean are solid as a rock. We're gonna have to see if that's a consistent theme here.
I don't know why, but I see that you may have a baby girl for you in future.
Okay, so we have 1 kid. Interesting.
The other card, that is the Emperor, which shows about your health. A little bit of back issues, stomach related issues.
She's essentially saying she sees IBS in my future.
Or pain in your feet would be there, which I see out here.
Pain in my feet. That's going to ruin my whole career. You know, I get Instagram messages every day about my feet. They're going to be devastated to find out my feet aren't in tip-top condition.
And not major problems. Please don't take it in like major problems. There are some minor problems which will have, but if you do not treat it on the right time, then it will become major. So you have to take care of yourself on time, which I see out here.
That lady had a very soothing voice. I love that from her. I'm really enjoying this so far. I feel like even if you don't believe it as fact, it's really entertaining. Hello everyone, welcome to my table. We are here today to get a tarot read. And I'm a bit nervous. Please take it away. This is your area of expertise. Introduce yourself.
I'm Angela and I'm a tarot reader. And I've been reading professionally for about 15 years. But I've been reading since I was quite young. Mm-hmm. My grandmother taught me when I was about 8 or 9 to read tarot. She actually taught me how to read tea leaves when I was 4.
Wow.
So I've been divinating for a very, very long time.
Right, so how do you do your tarot? Talk me through tarot.
With me, I am literally an intuitive reader. I see different pictures in the cards. I get like little visions pop up off the cards.
Oh wow, okay.
I get different feelings from them. They talk to me, which is where it gets really crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's actually them talking to me. I actually think it's your spirit guides talking to me.
And my
the
spirit
cards.
guides are...
Spirit guides are the ones who try to guide you through life. They're the ones that when that instinct appears, they put a feeling to it.
Okay. And what's their connection to you? Are they like an omnipotent external being, or are they part of you? Or, okay.
They're basically a soul that has lived every single eventuality you can possibly live on this plane. And when they've gone for their final life, their final sleep, their soul then becomes spirit guides to help guide us through life.
So spirit guides will tell you intuitively about what you're reading in regards to me. Yep. So my spirit guides will communicate that with you. Yep. And then you will communicate it back to me in a way that my mortal form can comprehend.
I also tune into you as a person. So I actually tune physically into you.
Okay.
So I can feel your body and I can feel what's going on and what's happening. And
be careful, I've got
bits
some
and
hip
bobs.
problems. You're probably feeling the aches
You
and
shouldn't have
pains.
told me that. All the cards will tell you, and all I will tell you today is if you keep following the path you're following, or you follow the advice of the tarot, this is what your future will be. Okay then, well, let's get into the cards.
Okay.
I'm first going to tune into you, so if you could just focus on the cards for a few seconds, darling. This is just to quieten your mind a little bit, so I can actually get in. Okay. All right. Oh, there you are. Yep. Okay, I can feel that in your hip. I'm getting some slight aches and pains across here.
I did go to the gym yesterday and did a lot of shoulder
Is that
stuff.
what I'm getting there?
That's what the shoulder things are.
Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm going to break your cards down into sections and hopefully cover a bit of everything. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
So I'm going to go onto your health first.
Okay.
I'm actually seeing you hit a really nice old age down here, so that's quite nice to see. You know, you look like you're keeping your marbles as well.
That'd be sick.
I think
love that.
I am seeing a bit of a walking stick there.
All I've got is a walking stick. That'd be bloody
If
great.
you get to
be
that
honest.
age. Financially, it's telling me you're okay.
Cool.
It's telling me your bills are paid, you've got food on the table. There is a bit there to play about with every so often. It is going to get better. It does feel like your creative side is the side that's going to make that better. I don't know. I was just seeing you sort of, please don't let this freak you out. And it looked like you were running down a street, just sort of screaming randomly.
To be fair, that could be me in my real life. Why not?
But it's in your career section. So that wouldn't surprise me if that's some sort of programme or film or some sort of thing. But for some reason, that's showing me money signs above it. So whatever that is, it's going to give you some money.
Nice.
That's always a good thing.
I love getting paid to scream my head off.
Let's get onto your love life, shall we? I've met your partner.
Yeah.
He's lovely.
He's a lovely dude.
I do see you two lasting it out. I know you're not married yet, but I do see that at some point.
Tell
Okay.
John, he's got to start saving for a ring.
A big ring.
A big ring, ideally. I'm kidding. Look, he could marry me with a Haribo ring. I really don't care less. That's not the important part. But just saying, if you'd fancied it.
It's going to be a beautiful wedding as well. It's going to be very well planned out. It's going to be, I want to call it quite quaint and cosy is the words I want to use. Yeah. I do see you two having a really nice marriage together. The house I see you two buying together is a beautiful house as well. It feels like there's a little bit of land with it. It feels like there's a bit of grass and greenery around you. So it does feel like you move further slightly into the country slightly. Your cats are coming with you too.
Wonderful. That was all I was looking for, really.
So I do want to talk about children here.
Oh, God, okay.
So I am seeing one child.
One, interesting.
Just one. I'm seeing a little boy.
Sounds about right.
He's pretty cheeky.
Oh, God. I can't be dealing with
But
a child
he's
like
got
me.
this big smile that every time he says something that he knows is cheeky, he's just going to be...
Oh, God, now he's going to get away with it.
He's going to be quite an intelligent lad as well. You know, once he knows about something, he's going to know everything about it. He's going to want to learn everything he can about particular subjects.
You're telling me I'm going to give birth to a cheeky know-it-all?
Yeah.
God damn it.
He's got a really lovely way about him. And yeah, the women are going to fall all over him.
Oh, he's not gay then. We've failed.
No.
We've failed.
But I like what I'm seeing here. You've got a pretty nice life ahead here. You've just got to sometimes get your head down and focus a little bit more, and your career is going to go up like that. And sometimes you need to step back and take a break. But in terms of your life going forward at the moment, it's a good life and it's going to be happy.
Yay.
Which is what I'm seeing.
That's what I really wanted, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for, really. Everyone, please say thank you and please check out, what's your YouTube channel again?
Adventures with Clange.
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 Lovely. So Angela and
Claudine.
When you say
Just call us Clange.
Right, Clange, our new favourite relationship duo. They have a shared YouTube channel down below, which I will leave a link to. And you have a personal website as well if people want to make.
You just research Angela Barker Tarot, you'll find me on Facebook, you'll find me on all the normal social media channels.
They'll all be linked down below. So please do check out all of the links. And as well, a massive thank you for coming because I've taken up so much of your day.
It's fine.
And you're asking me, what does your future hold? You know, that's a fantastic question. And,
Okay, Fernando.
you know, I feel it's very significant that you think from now that you have started a shift in your life. Okay, right now, if you didn't do anything, I would sense that there are not much changes in your future. It feels to me that you are going to start to learn more about yourself, but for that you need to invest your time. You cannot cross your arms and be waiting for something to happen.
Oh, not literally.
I would like Fernando to hype me up every week. I don't even really understand what he's saying because he's using a lot of words to say it, which is why I'm a bit confused. I find it hard to follow long sentences. I'm gonna be honest.
Pay attention, especially in the month of October, okay? You need to try to aim, okay? And try to focus in making new connections, especially if they can be professional connections or connections that could empower your professional life in a certain degree. Because I sense that this is a significant aspect that it is waiting up for you.
If anyone would like to be friends with me, starting in October, let me know. Not before October though. We mustn't meet before then. We must not cross paths. Just let me know that you would like to cross paths with me in a month's time. That would be good because I'm not going to ruin the prophecy.
And why is this? Because for 2023, I sense that it's going to be your big year, your year of transformation and your year of shifting into a greater version of yourself, more aligned with your life purpose and more aligned with the option of growing as a soul and growing as a
like
person,
a butterfly.
okay? And you're going to have, a few ideas on the run as far as your professional life. As I sense that you're not meant to be a rat racer. And ultimately, I sense that there's going to be more significance in your life as far as connections, personal connections. But again, you need to invest yourself more, because if you cross your arms, this is not going to happen. But if you start to set intentions, start to open up, start to network, then you're going to have support from the universe, and you're going to have a positive flow.
I mean, the vibes were there. We got a lot of healing and growth. I'm going to make a good friend in October, and I'm going to expand my network next year and grow more into myself next year. And he also said not to cross your arms, which I don't think he meant literally, but to be honest, at this point, I don't really know. So I'm never crossing my arms ever again. Now, there were a couple of very specific things that were mentioned more than once, including the fact that I would have one child and the fact that the partner I'm with now will be my partner indefinitely. Poor Jean. The interesting thing I found about the one child thing is that I never saw myself ever having one child. I always thought if I did have children, I'd have more than one because, well, I don't want them to be a little loner. However, the bit that did interest me is the fact that both readers were pretty adamant that I was going to have a boy or a girl, but they couldn't agree. Now, I don't know whether this is because, as I mentioned earlier, I tripped and stumbled at some point in the week and suddenly the gender of my future child changed. Or maybe it's because each reader just confused the gender. I mean, babies all look the same. I'm sorry. Honestly, the results that I got are going to be divisive. For some, they'll say that the similarities between some of my tarot reads is evidence to the truth of the tarot. For others, they'll say it's just proof that tarot readers recycle the same points and they just tell people what they want to hear. But I do have a bit of food for thought for my skeptics out there. For the majority of people, I do think that tarot reads of your future are going to be very similar. And this is because for the majority of people, I think our futures have very similar milestones. We live in a society that rewards certain behaviors like marriage, children, doing well at work, buying a house. And because of that, I think a lot of us focus our ambitions for the future along these lines because we want to be seen as successful by societal standards. Now, for genuine tarot readers, they're going to be seeing more or less the same story play out over and over and over again from person to person. And I don't think that's their fault. However, there is a point that a lot of skeptic people bring up that I do think is important to mention here. And that's that whether or not the existence of genuine tarot readers exists, there is definitely the existence of those who are not genuine. And I think it's really important to acknowledge the potential danger there. Like any scam, there are victims and it can cause some real harm. I personally am gonna take these tarot readings with a pinch of salt because after all, the future is ever changing. But I did learn a lot about tarot and divination and I got to meet some really nice people. So overall, I think that's a win, even if none of them saw me surrounded by stacks of cash. Let me know your opinions on tarot down below. Remember to be respectful and kind. Feel free to like this video and subscribe if you fancy, because I'm not gonna lie, finding out your future is not cheap. It is not. Don't forget to hydrate, and as always, give my kisses to your mother.